Hello everybody. My name is Paul. I'm head of customer operations here at Omnisend. And welcome to our first webinar called Success with Omnisend. And this is going to be a series of different topics where we will be looking at different ways how you can succeed with Omnisend. And we would love to kick off with one of the most popular, I would say, topics in email marketing, in e-commerce marketing automation, and this is email automation. So this is something that we will be looking at today. The webinar itself is going to take up to half an hour. So as I see that some people are still joining us, we will be kicking off right now. So those who will join us, they will just start from the point where we're at that time. A couple of things. We have Q&A section. This is a Q&A button on your screen where you can click and ask some questions over there. I'm not sure if I will be able to go through all of them, but I will try to. If not, I will respond to each and every single question after this webinar ends within, I hope, a couple of hours. And if you have any questions, just send them there. I will do my best to go through all of them. So I would like to begin with the question: why would you need to automate, and why is it important to actually automate your marketing? So first of all, automated messages like welcome emails, like cart abandonment emails, like order confirmation emails are customer specific. This means that the customer is getting the message that they are expecting. So it's really important for the customer because they're expecting you to get this is the message that is specific to them. Second thing, of course, it's based on a trigger. So it means that this customer is expecting to get that message, regardless whether it's going through email, rather it's going through SMS message or any other channel. It is based on a trigger where a customer or a subscriber makes an action, and then they get a message. So for example, if I'm signing up for a newsletter, I expect to get a welcome email. And this is why it's based on a trigger. My trigger was signing up for an email. If I'm browsing some products and I'm adding them to the cart, I might be expecting to get a browse abandonment or cart recovery, cart abandonment emails after some time if I don't make a purchase. So it's based on a trigger, and the customer is expecting that. And that shows really well in the metrics later on, and we will take a look at that as well. Next thing, it contains relative content. So for example, if I receive cart abandonment email, it only contains those products that I abandoned in my cart. So of course, it's personalized because I'm getting just the things that I left behind and not something completely random that I would get in any bulk campaigns. Now, looking at some metrics. So for example, how it shows in numbers. So if we compare the average open rate for bulk campaigns, which is around 15.4%, you can be expecting better than that. For some, it's worse than that, but as an average, it's around 15.4. And if we look at the average open rate for abandoned cart automations, yeah, some fireworks, 56.5%. So it's like at least 3 or 4 times higher than you would be expecting from bulk campaigns. Next thing, if we look at click rates, it's the same story again. You're getting 25.8 instead of 3.9%. So it's like six times higher than that. And then, of course, we're interested in conversions. So it also replicates over there as well. 0.03% as an average conversion per email sent as a bulk campaign compared to what you get on abandoned cart automation, and it's 6.5%. So it's totally obvious that you need to do that, and it's no longer a question whether should I do that. It's more of a question how to do that and what exactly should I be doing. And this is what we'll be looking at during this these 30 minutes. And yeah, some requirements. You need to have some things before you can start doing automation. And these are just a couple of like really basic things. So first of all, of course, you need to have a running online store or a website that you want to connect to Omnisend and work with that website's customers and visitors and so on. Second of all, you need to have Omnisend app installed or module installed, depends on the e-commerce platform that you're using. And if you're not on the list of e-commerce platforms that we currently support natively, you can go for an API integration. We have an open API with all the details, with all the documentation, and it's really not that hard to connect. So yeah, so these are the platforms that we currently support. We're really well working with Shopify, Shopify Plus, Ecommerce, PrestaShop, Magento, WooCommerce, and if you're on anything else, we have an API, open API, and you can pass all the data through that as well. So now, what are the main automations that we will be looking at, and what are the main automations that you should be creating for your business? So we will be looking at a couple of basic ones that your store definitely needs to have, and then we will look at some custom workflows. So first of all, of course, we will start with welcome emails. Then we will go and see how abandoned carts can help you out, and we will look at order confirmation, why exactly you would prefer to send that through Omnisend instead of the one regular one that you're probably sending from your store. And last but not least, of course, a couple of custom workflows to see how you can benefit from those as well. So I will now move my screen to my web browser, and you should start seeing my browser. So yeah, so over here, what we have is an Omnisend account, and you're probably already familiar with this workspace. What we can see here is that I'm on the automation tab, and this is where all of your automations live. At first, when you come to an empty account, you won't have anything over here, but I already have a couple of automations enabled. Some of them are already running and converting some customers. Some of those are not as successful just yet. But the main thing is that you can see the whole list of your automations over here. You can filter them by those that are currently enabled and those that are currently disabled. I have none at the moment. You can sort them by different types, and also you can choose whether it's sending emails, SMS messages, Facebook Messenger, and so on. Today, we will be focusing mainly on emails, but basically, if we were looking at automation, how to automate your marketing, it doesn't really depend like on the type of the message that you're sending, because the workflow is the same. So it can replicate to any other channel as well that you will be using on Omnisend. So let's not wait and jump into the creation of the workflow. And to start working with your automations, what you need to do is click Create Workflow, or if you have something already, you can just go and edit, you can view the report, and so on. So we'll just start with a completely clean sheet. And what you see here is a complete customer journey that your customer will be taking on your store. So we have some automations that are already predefined for you, so that it's easier for you to start working with automations. And what we have here is some automations for your subscribers. So for those who sign up for your emails or your SMS messages and any other channels, and you just want to welcome them. They're not purchasing yet. They're not adding anything to their cart. You just want to welcome them and talk to them. Maybe they signed up for from like some time ago. Then you can send them a birthday email. And yeah, you have two types. You have whether welcome email 1 email or welcome 3 emails, but basically it's just a predefined preset. You can edit that. You can have as many emails as you need with as many delays as you need, and we will be taking a look at that as well. Next thing, we have Shopper, and this is for those visitors of your online store who are just visiting it, signing up, adding something to their cart, but not making that last thing, making a purchase. So what it allows you is to send an abandoned cart emails. Again, you can choose 3 emails, 1 email, but you can change that to your preference. You can go with 2 emails, you can go with 4, as you like. Then we have product abandonment. It's for those times where a customer is checking out a particular product, not even adding it to their cart, and abandoning your store. And we can track that, and we can send them a special automated message as well. And then, of course, we have browse abandonment. This is for those cases where you want to try to get back the customers that have visited a particular page. Maybe it's not a product page. Maybe it's a particular page that you're interested, like a category page. They checked out a category page, not going into a particular product, not adding it to abandoned cart. This is really helpful in those cases. Now, for buyers, we have order confirmation, which is a really standard workflow for those in e-commerce business. Then we have shipping confirmation, cancellation confirmation, again, 2 very important workflows. And we also have customer feedback, which is something that is sent after some time after your customer makes a purchase, just to get the idea of how their experience was. And this is something that you collect to your Omnisend account, and then you can segment based on that, and so on. Then we have a repeated buyer. We have cross-sell automation. We have customer reactivation. We have customer reactivation with 1 email. Again, you can have as many as you like. And order follow-up. So this is a follow-up that you can send after some time to follow up with the customer, maybe offer them something additional to what they have already purchased. And for other, we have custom workflows. We'll take a look into those as well. So now I would like to show you how exactly you can set up a workflow. And I suggest going with welcome with 3 emails, because we will then see how exactly that looks, and how different messages look over on the editor. So we just click on it, and we get into a preview page where you can see the name of this automation. You can rename that later as well. And you can see that no customers have entered the workflow because it's completely new. No customers are currently in the workflow. So if you have like 3 messages in one workflow, somebody might be in between that. So they might have already received the 2nd, but they're still waiting to get the 3rd one. So they're in the workflow. And the last thing is customers who have already exited the workflow. So you can change the exit rules, the cancellation rules in the workflow as well. And yeah, so what we have here is we see a trigger, so something that triggers this automation. Then we have a delay, and you can edit and adjust that delay over here, or we will be able to do that in the editor as well. And then we have first email with all of its details. We have 1 more delay. We have another email. We have 1 more delay again. We have another email, and then it's the end of the workflow. So if I wanted to add more emails to that, or if I wanted to add SMS messages, push notifications, or something else, what would I do is I would go to edit the workflow. So I click edit the workflow, and the editor opens. Over here in the center area, we have the same workflow that we just saw, but the main difference is that it's editable over here. If I click on the trigger, I can change it to anything I like. So if I started working with welcome email or welcome automation, I can change that and into anything else I like. But we'll leave it with the sign up trigger over here. And what I can do is I can set this particular welcome email to shoot out, or this welcome automation to shoot out, depending on the particular sign-up form that I have created. So I can set if it's going to shoot out, regardless of which sign-up form the customer is coming from, or I can choose a particular one. I have a lot of them over here, as you can see, and it's going to shoot out only for those who are signing up through landing page number 18, for example. It's really good if you want to have a really custom offer. For example, if you're running a campaign and you want to give out some discount codes, but only for those who are coming from your particular landing page, it's really good to have this automation. And you can have as many as you like, so you can really customize those. I will just leave for now that it's any. We can then add additional rules. So for example, if I had a particular form, landing page number 11 and landing page number 12, or I can choose or as a connector and have all of the signups from landing page 11 or landing page 12 to receive this automation. Let's save it. Now over here we have the workflow name, and I can just rename that. Here we have workflow cancellation, and as I said, you can edit that as well. So if I go for the cancellation triggers, or like out of the box, you get a trigger which is order placed. This means that if somebody places an order, we discontinue this automation. So if you have like 3 emails, you have some discount codes in all of these 3 emails, and maybe they're getting higher and higher in the discount over those 3 emails. You don't want to send additional emails if somebody makes a purchase after the first welcome email. So the trigger for cancellation is order placed out of the box, but you can change that as well. So for example, if you wanted to have order placed with a status not just paid, you can add a rule that is somebody who makes a purchase and their order status is also partially paid. So it's either this or that. And then we can add, for example, it's authorized, let's say. So we have 3 different rules to cancel that. All of them are based on the order placed trigger, and we can add additional ones as well. So for example, order placed, and I can have a custom event, an abandoned cart, a sign up. For example, if there was a sign up through let's say landing page number 22, or there was a purchase from this whole workflow, then no more additional emails are being sent. So you're not sending a lot of emails and all over the place. You're just sending really particular messages at really particular times for really specific people. Now, once we have our workflow cancellation done, we can go with the content. We can look at the content and how we can change that. So first, we recommend to send after the delay is to wait for 1 day, but I don't like that. I can change that into, let's say, 1 hour, and I want to send it quicker. And if I go for, you can go as well, you can go for any amount of time. You can also choose a specific time of the day when that email has to be sent. So if, for example, you don't want your emails to be sending during the night, you can change that so that it goes out at a very specific time during the day. I don't want that for now. And then we can go for email itself. You can change all the details over here. And we have 3 different ways to work with this in particular email. So we can edit the content, we can preview how it looks, and we can send a test email to our inbox just to try it out and see if everything is okay. I will go to edit content, and yeah, once it loads, the email editor is the same for all of the automations and all of the campaigns in Omnisend. Once you work with something, sorry, we'll have to jump into that again. Don't know why exactly that happened, but things sometimes happen. So yeah, now it's loaded. And if you work with your template over here, everything that you do over here, you can save it and then reuse for some other automations. You can reuse that design for some other campaign. It's basically, you don't have to work each and every single time on a different design. So we jump immediately into the content tab, but there is also template tab where you have your standard templates. So as you can see, they're really simple. They're different, but they're really simple in a sense of design. So they're just basically black and white, and you would need to design them like yourself. Then we have theme templates, and you can choose from something that is already predefined. And if you go for either of those, you will still be able to personalize that and make sure that it completely falls under your own branding. And we also have saved templates. So once you create something, you can save it and have it over here. So we'll go with the same that we already had. And over here, immediately you see that you have some predefined texts. You have welcome, you have some things written. You also have a discount block. And in case you have an integration with Shopify or Ecommerce, these are going to work as a conditional discount block. And this means that you will be able to send out different discount codes to particular people. So they're going to be personalized. If you're running your store on a different e-commerce platform, you will have to add the discount code manually, and you can do that over here. And yeah, so this is something that works really well for Ecommerce and Shopify. So everything else is editable, and you can add some things like, for example, I want to add a product recommender that recommends newest products, shows the title, but doesn't show the price and the old price and the description. So it's just a title, a button, and the image. If I want to show a bit more, not a problem at all. And you can add different standard blocks, and you can use them as you like. Additionally, of course, we have some saved blocks. So for example, I have already saved my products, so I can drag and drop it immediately over here and reuse that in some other automations as well. For design, you can customize basically anything you like. You can change the color or the background image, or use some patterns for your emails, and background color can be changed. You can change the content, and in the content section, you can change how wide or narrow your email is, in fact. So as you can see, when I'm raising the width, it's scaling and it's becoming bigger and bigger. So for example, if you like wider emails, you can do that for yourself. You can save it, save in my template, and that's it. I will have that as my new design. I can reuse that later on for other automations or for other campaigns. Now, if I wanted to save this whole design and also all of the content that I already have, I would go for saving it as a template. Save it, and if I go to the template section, save templates, here, this is my template, and I can reuse that for any other case. So now let's say that we're done with our email. I hit save and go back, and we're back. I can reuse that I can already use that email, and this is first one. I have another one. If I already changed something over here, and I know that I only need slight minor changes to this one, I can just clone this block and reuse this particular block the same way I already had with this one. So I just add the delay over here. Let's say it's 1 hour, and that's it. It was really easy. Now I only need to change some text over here, and that's it. If I wanted to go for some other channels, for example, I want to send out an email and I want to wait a bit, and then I want to welcome the customer with an SMS message, for example, if I'm collecting phone numbers as well, then yeah, I just type my sender's name, I just type my text, and that's it. It's really easy. And what is also amazing is that you not only can type in some predefined text, but you can also use some personalization. So for example, you can use personalization from your contact information, your account information, and especially if we go for an automation that is based on a particular order. So for example, order confirmation, and we go over here and we add an SMS message over here. What we can do is we can add personalization by order. So for example, I can send out personalized SMS messages, and the same goes for the email as well. I can send out these messages personalized with like, what was the total price for this customer? I can tell that this was for the particular order ID. I can insert shipping price, shipping address. Well, maybe it would be too long for an SMS message, but still you can do that. And also, for example, order date. So, you know, this is a shipping confirmation for this particular order ID, which was made on this date for this total price. And you can send it out. It is a really personalized message, and not just, you know, generic, yeah, we've got your order. And yeah, so these are the things that you can personalize. You can make it really specific for that particular customer. And yeah, so these are the things that you can do. And let's take a look at, quickly take a look at how it differs for different automations. So for example, we already saw how it looks, like the setup looks for welcome emails. If we go for an abandoned cart, it's the same thing. We have the same workflow. We hit edit workflow. We have everything over here as we did over there. We have our trigger, which is abandoned cart. We can have additional rules if the abandoned product, for example, is a particular product. If somebody abandons a black t-shirt dress, for example, only and not as a whole, and I can do a lot of specific abandoned carts with very specific different offers, for example. Of course, you don't need to create everything for each particular product. You can go with just a general one, because we will automatically include the abandoned products with their images, with their prices, with their content, etc., etc. And there's going to be a button where your customer will be able just to click and get back to your store with all those products back on their cart. So this is how it looks on our side. The same thing goes again for order confirmation. It's the same again. It's the same workflow. And if you already have something running from your store, for example, if you're on Shopify, you cannot disable your order confirmation. So we have a special feature which allows you to replace that with a thank you email. So it's not going to be disabled on Shopify. It has to be just replaced with a thank you email, and then you can launch that over here. Okay, so that would be it from the setup side. I will get back to my presentation. And yeah, so we went through different automations, welcome emails, abandoned carts, order confirmation, and we saw how easy it is to set up those automations. So it's, you can really personalize, you can really dig deep into that, and it's really an easy workflow. Now, what are the additional resources and what you can do after this webinar, where you can learn a bit more, where you can get more information? So first of all, we have a special section on our knowledge base, which is support.omnisend.com. And you can find 17 really helpful articles over there where you will get your answers. And we try to update those, and we try to make sure that you get your answers over there. Also, I definitely suggest visiting our blog, which is blog.omnisend.com, and downloading a free case study ebook, which also contains case studies on our customers who are really winning at automation. And you can just read yourselves how are they performing and how are they doing their automations on Omnisend. Another way is to read 9 ways to use email automation to increase e-commerce revenue, which is also an article on our blog, which is, again, blog.omnisend.com. And check those out as well. So I see that I have one question on Q&A, and that is, can we do B2B emails as well for another site, but from same account? So yeah, Omnisend is not just B2C. You can use that for B2B as well. Everything depends on the fact whether you can use those subscribers or not. So if those customers signed up, if they're expecting messages from you, then sure, you can send through Omnisend, and you can use that for B2B as well. Everything just depends on the fact whether somebody is expecting a message from you or not. If we don't have any more questions, feel free to hit me up at paulus@omnisend.com, or just talk to us through our support in-app chat or support@omnisend.com, and we'll try to answer all of your questions. And thank you, everybody, for participating. That's it for now. You will be receiving a link to recording of this video. And if, again, anybody has any questions, just let me know. Thank you. Goodbye.